Hi, I'm Chef G, and I cooked at some of the best restaurants in the world, and I probably even cooked for you. And today, as I promised, I'm going to be making you that 8-legged swimming creature called Octopus. Octopody in the house. I'm going to teach you how to make this bad boy.
Yorgo. Tamasdiktis, you're going to show us how to make octopus? I think you're over your head this time, because I don't think you know the secrets. In Greece, we used to take the octopus and bang it on the rocks, bang it on the rocks, bang it on the rocks. That's the way you make octopody, Yorgo. That's the way.
That Yaya, what is she doing? Banging the octopus on the rocks. We haven't done that in years. Actually, in the high-end Greek restaurants that I used to work at, shh, don't tell anybody, but we used to use a washing machine, handful of kosher salt, and the washing machine would bang it around. But now, thanks to modern conveniences on the boats, they have these machines that look like little cement mixers that they put a little kosher salt in, and they just bang around, bang around, bang around. That's the secret. You don't have to bang it on a rock anymore, Yaya.
Hello, Yaya. This is the way we do it back in Greece. Sun-dried, hanged on a clothesline.
It's really easy how to prepare the octopus. You gotta cut the head off. So I always cut the head off right under the eye socket. You can leave some in the pan so it doesn't make a mess, you don't have to. But there's also a beak. And you probably want to use the head later on, but we'll talk about that in another episode. You can make things called stifado and octopus rice and fun stuff like that. And then the trick here is, you see the beak right in here. If you want to come close, there's the beak, right? You see it popping out? What I do is I just cut it by one of the tentacles so we could open her up. Just keep on going so we could open her up. And there you go. See how the beak is right there? And the beak you want to cut out. Cut the beak right out. See that? How beautiful, how easy that is? Just to cut that little guy out. And then this is the easy part, you know? Just like that. So we separate it like that. I take it and I put it in a nice stainless steel pan like this. You could use a bigger one if you want, but they all shrink down. This is a nice stainless steel pan. And this is the trick to here. I put the aromatics on. Some carrots, dump them all in. Celery, just dump that in nice and quick. The bay leaves, dump that all in. I do a couple of cloves of garlic. Can't have enough garlic. Some peppercorns, just like that. Peppercorns, a little Greek oregano. And you cover it with red wine vinegar. Just like that. Red wine vinegar. Cover it to the top, and then I like to add at this point a little red wine. And I like to keep it all covered just like that. You see that? If you want to add a little bit of salt in it, you can. You know what? We normally don't in Eons. We do that later on, the cooking process. And just like this. Then you cover it with aluminum foil, and I'll show you guys how we bake it in the oven. If you go to your fishmonger and ask them, all octopus comes frozen, what the different sizes are. Make sure you get the stuff that's Portuguese or it's really African, Atlantic. The Philippine stuff is a little bit cheaper, but it's not as good, and I really don't use that. We just use the best quality. And that's it. You wrap it up with a little bit of foil, just like so. And I bake it in an oven at 400 degrees for a non-convection oven. If you have a convection oven, 350. So 375, I put this at 400. Pop that bad boy right in the oven. I put it close to the bottom. And that's it. I let it bake for about an hour and a half. Is a technique that's called fork tender. I'm sure you heard it a million times. Where you basically take a skewer or a knife. I don't know why they call it. They used to use a fork back in the day, but now we use a knife or a skewer, and it's kind of the same way like a potato. When you're testing a potato, you stick the skewer in, and if it comes out easy, it's ready. Don't overcook your octopus, okay? You got it? All right, it's been about an hour and a half, so time to check it. Come on, take it out of the oven. Here we go. Ah, smells nice and good. You smell that throughout the whole house. Oh, yep. Hear it cooking. Come in there close. We'll leave the oven on just in case it needs to be cooked a little bit more. But I actually checked it about 10-15 minutes ago. to make sure. Look at that beautiful steam coming off there. There we go. See? The octopus got a little bit shrunk a little bit. And so we take our skewer like we said, and I take it and I look for the fattest part of the octopus. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit for you. The fattest part of the octopus is about midway from the tentacle, and we just put that in just like so. Look at how I'm doing it. And you see that? And whoop, that just popped right out, nice and easy. So now what I do is I get a pair of tongs and we just take it right out. Remember, you don't want the octopus to overcook, because if it overcooks, then it becomes too mealy. You want it just so it's residual. And octopus is very gelatinous, right? So this is not the time to cook this octopus. I always let it chill in the refrigerator, at least until it's cold, probably about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so now we're gonna pop this in the fridge for a little bit to get it cold, and I'm gonna teach you guys how we grill it in the high-end Greek places. All right, guys, so the octopus is out of the refrigerator, it cooled down. And the reason why I like to cool it down before we put it on the grill, so that the fats congeal. There's a lot of gelatin in octopus. So once it cools down, it congeals and turns into more of a solid state. And what I'm gonna show you here with this octopus is very simple. The reason why also this octopus is straight like this, going down, is because we didn't boil it. When you boil the octopus, it's like abusing it, banging it around. So when you bake it in a pan with the tentacles straight, it keeps the tentacles nice and straight and doesn't abuse them. Cooks it slowly like a slow poach. And all I do here is very easy, is we just separate the tentacles. You know, I separate them all. And these are the good bits. I actually like grilling the tips because they're the crunchy little parts at the end that I like. So at this time, you see how there's all this gelatinous on it? This is a good, firm, beautiful octopus, by the way. And at this point, I take the time. There might be a loose peppercorn. You could take that off. Not a big deal. And then I just cut all these away, just like that. Nice and simple. Separating them from the pod. What I like to do is separate them a little bit, and I like to put a little olive oil on them. So I coat them a little olive oil, then I hit them with a little salt, just like that, getting them ready for the grill. This is how I get them ready for the grill. But what I really like to do is oil the grates. It's very important to oil the grates so the octopus doesn't stick. It's very important to oil the grates. So here you go, I give the grates a nice good oiling. Just nice and oily. There we go. Very important to do this part. Don't forget that step, guys. And then right on the hot grill, just place the octopus. I like to put it on the tentacle side. There you go, just like that. Put them all over, beautiful. Pack these bad boys on the grill. So we lightly olive oil them, salt and pepper. We oil the grill so it doesn't stick, and we place them right on the grill like that. Look at how beautiful that is. Bad boys a flip, and I'm just gonna brush it with a little extra virgin olive oil that I seasoned with a little salt and pepper. Just give them a little brush, not too much, because then you'll get a flare up. Light little brush. I'm gonna keep, sometimes you could do these with lemon, but I'm gonna keep these the traditional ways we did it in the high-end Greek places back in the city. So it was done with vinegar, so we're gonna continue doing it with vinegar, but just give it a nice little brush, just like that. And then this would have been cooking for about 5 minutes. Probably if I timed it, it'll probably be like 5 minutes and 45 seconds to be exact. And then we're gonna let it cook for another 2 to 3 minutes till it's nice and charred on the outside. All right, guys, so it's been about 2 to 3 minutes, and look at that beautiful char that's on there. And they're getting a little bit closer. You see these beautiful char marks. To me, you know what? I'm gonna pull these, man. And look at how those little tails got a little crispy. Those are gonna be my little goodness later. I'm gonna steal those. So that's it. I'm gonna take these bad boys, tentacles, whatever you call them, octopi, off the grill, just like this. And we are gonna take it back to the kitchen and cut it up for you guys. So now I'm ready to cut the octopus. And what I said, what I like to do with the little tips is I save these for me. So I cut off about a little bit like there, and that'll be for me. And these, look at, oh my God, guys. Look at that, you can cut on the bias. That's cutting like butter. like butter, just like that. Look at how beautiful that is. Same again, I'll show you another one. I cut off the little thingy over here, and just like that. Cut them in little round slices. Or you can leave them whole. You can leave them whole, put them on the plate, serve them with a little olive oil and lemon juice. I'm just showing you how we make them at the high-end Greek places that I work. All right, and you just keep on continuing to cut them, and then you're good to go. All right, like I said, we cut off the bit. Oh, she likes it. And I keep on cutting these like this. Came out perfect, by the way. Look at how I cut those. Cut it this way so you guys can see. Just like that. And you just arrange them on the platter. Whoop, there you go. In the other restaurants I worked at, we used to like put some red onions on the bottom with dill and stuff with that, but you know what, you don't have to, and plus we don't got any, to tell you the truth. So this is the way I season it at those high-end restaurants that I work. First, we'd hit it with a little bit of salt, right on top. Then I would hit it with a little fresh pepper, just like that. And then some capers. Some of the capers I put on there. Love the capers, go with this dish perfectly. And then some roasted peppers we made earlier. Look at how beautiful that's looking, guys. You can make a little bit of a mess. We'll clean up, right? Lots of nice roasted peppers. And then I put some parsley on top also. A little sprinkle. You can put mint, dill. You know, you just be creative, guys. You don't have to follow the rules. You never follow the rules, right? Always do it up a little bit. And then what I like to do is I gotta grab the vinegar. I use a little red wine vinegar on there. Nice splash. Just so you can see it. I love the vinegar with the octopus. Look at how beautiful that looks, right? A little vinegar. Then I hit it with a good amount of olive oil. Look at that, nice amount of olive oil. You can mix it up. So I like to finish it with also a little Greek oregano, all over the place. Ooh, good amount, just like that, a sprinkling. And then I put a little bit more olive oil on top. Just like that. You always want to taste, you know? Put a little more olive oil. I love this in olive oil. It's delicious. And then, let me see, I like to look. And if I don't see a little vinegar coming out, I always add a touch more, which I'm gonna add a touch more. You see what I'm doing, guys? It's not an exact science. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and after 1,000 times, you'll get it too. There you go.
Yorgo, you taught me a lot, because back in Greece, we used to bang it on the rugs. I can't believe now they have a machine that does it for you, and you don't have to hang it on the clothesline anymore in the sun. Oh, let me taste to make sure that it tastes pretty good. Oh, and always have a little ouzo with your octopus. That's a secret. Let me taste. Oh, which in English means, bless your hands, Yorgo. Keep on cooking the way you do.
Yeah, man, I'm glad she learned something finally from me. After all these years, I've been cooking for like 25, 30 years. I can't even count them anymore, but you know, I prefer tsikudia instead of ouzo with my octopus. So, I'm gonna pour myself a little tsikudia. This does really look really good. I like doing the same thing, dipping mine. And also my pita bread recipe goes really good with this. Let me give it a taste. That deserves a chef kiss. Shot of ouzo or tsikudia. Remember, don't overcook your octopus. And yasu, guys. Lots of love from George.